Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? You know, it's your boy, Mark and MUFC fan, and I'm streaming live on MUFC Realist TV and Mark and MUFC fan. Guys, good morning. It's your transfer update, your daily morning views coming from me. But this morning is a specialty because I have a great guest in store, and we're going to start it off really early. Guys, get into the comments. Let me know what you're thinking because you know what? It's time for us to get into the transfer issues. What is happening with Manchester United? Who are we open to sell? What are the possible deals? And who is possibly coming in? Guys, get into the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Don't forget to smash a like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, guys. It's one of those things that, we need you just as much as you need us. We can't do this without you guys, and we always enjoy having your company with us each and every time. Big up to you guys coming in, and let's get into the show, guys. Good morning. Big up to you, Scotty, as the wheel coming in. Big up to you, bro. Good morning to you, Mental Ball Game. And guess what, guys? I got my favorite friend in the background. You know what it is. It's the M, and it's the other M coming in. And it's Mick Ruby coming in, guys. Good morning to Mick Ruby.
Morning, glory. What's the story, morning glory? Stretch your arms, legs, get the blood flow growing. Yeah, I'm good, Mark. For you that's commuting, probably where you are, just listen to our voices. Deep hypnosis, Manchester United going places, and there is outgoings, as what Mark is going to say. But I'm not going to hijack. It's your morning show. I'm just your wingman, my friend. So big up to everyone that's coming in raw. Smell the coffee. What's the story, morning glory? Buenos dias, Mark. Good morgon. From all the way from Sweden, what Thomas is saying. How you doing, Thomas? This coffee smells so good, Mark.
Yeah,
So
it
good,
does.
so good, so good. Lucky
What?
45.
Big up to
Give.
you. Good morning to you. More life to you as well, my brother. I hope you are well. Well, Mick, let's get right into it while everyone is smelling the
Yeah,
coffee.
more life. It's like we're playing the Super Mario Bros. Like did it, boom, wing. Yeah, you get an extra life. Yeah,
So
let's go.
let's start with this story, and it's coming in with Hannibal Mejbri, guys. And I know some of you might be a fan of the young midfielder, but I think it's something that that he needs. He needs some game time, guys. He's been having a little bit of issues. He went to Spain, was not able to get enough game time for Sevilla. It was a bad time for him, and he needs game time. He's unable to make the cut in the Man United team at the current moment. I'm not saying he's not good enough. I'm saying he might not be getting the game time that he actually needs to develop his game. So this
Yeah.
deal with Rangers coming in is going to suit him really good. I think the Scottish League is fine in terms of the physicality. It might not be
Wow.
one of those top European leagues, guys, but you know his quality. Ahmad was also at Rangers, so we have a relationship with the club. You know he's going to be in good hands. It's going to be a loan with an option to buy. You know Manchester United wants to get a permanent deal for the player, but
Hmm.
Rangers might not be able to pay the £8 million for him. So we're going to be
Hmm.
nice to them since they took such good care of Ahmad. And let me just get into the story and give you more
Did they?
details.
Did they take care of Ahmad? You hardly
Well, I
played
think
him.
they did. You know what I mean? They played him a lot of games. He was one of their better players. I would also say that, you know. But let me get into the story and then Mick could give you his opinion because, he's got his
Right.
finger
Yeah.
on the pulse. So the Scottish Giants Rangers reportedly are in talks to signing Manchester United midfielder Hannibal Mejbri. As you know, he signed from AS Monaco in 2019 for around £8 million. The Red Devils have successfully warded off significant competition from some of Europe's biggest club to land this Tunisian international. However, Hannibal has found the setup from academy football to the senior team somewhat difficult, with playing time under Erik ten Hag especially very hard to come by. While the likes of Kobe Menu, Alejandro Garnacho have broken into the team and are now key players, Hannibal has been used very sparingly by Ten Hag. The 20-year-old oppressed on loan at Birmingham City during the 22-23 season. He also spent the second half of last term in Spain with Sevilla, but the move proved to be disastrous for the player. Hannibal fell out of favor not long after his temporary switch to Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium, but he ended up playing just 6 games across all competitions, and that's not good enough. The La Liga club retained an option to make his stay with them permanent, one for £17 million, but unsurprisingly, they did not exercise it. According to Africa Foot, Hannibal may get another chance to prove his worth with Rangers, interesting and added him to their ranks. Outlets state that Manchester United Tunisian international Mejbri has received 2 offers in recent days. The management of Copenhagen has started negotiations and contacts with the player and his club for transfer in the form of a loan with an option to buy. But the Tunisian international is not very keen on the Danish club's proposal. The Glasgow Rangers club has also requested a loan of Hannibal, especially for his great performance during the friendly match between Manchester United and the Scottish club last Saturday. The Belgian coach of Glasgow, Philippe Clement, said has made Hannibal a priority for the team during this transfer window, and the
Mm.
negotiations are in advance between all parties. Hannibal played the second half versus the clash against Gers last weekend at Murrayfield Stadium. Mick, I'll hand it over to you. Let's hear what
Well,
you are thinking in this current moment, my bro.
I think your camera is. You look like Minecraft all of a sudden for me, my friend. I don't know what's going on with your gremlins in your internet. Yeah, you're
Oh,
moving. You listen. You look very distracted. I don't know what's going on with your end. What are they putting in the water or the internet in Germany? I don't know, man. Listen, Hannibal. It's a weird one, right? He didn't have a his attitude on loan spell in La Liga wasn't that great, was it? Was Sevilla, wasn't it? So they hardly played him. So yeah, for sure. You say Ahmad was well taken care of. Well, he wasn't really. I mean, if you think about it, he had a better loan spell the year after. But for me, if I look at Hannibal, he was kind of one of the academy players that everyone was kind of rating to say, well, he's the next one, next to Slice players coming up, but there's even better players. So I don't think that United will keep him at the end of the day. I think it's time for him to go. Um, he's a red card waiting to happen too. I don't rate him that much, to be honest. The way I've seen him, for him to get a loan is pretty much Manchester United to trim the wage bill, trim the squad out, send him out to Rangers and potentially sell him after, right? So, you know, all I'm going to say is big up. Like, even Joe Hugel got a loan to Wigan. So, yeah, seriously, I don't know. My thoughts regarding that, we needed this because I was asking the question, what's going to happen to Hannibal? Because that's another headache. So yeah, good. Hope this happens. To be honest.
100%, 100%. And guys, I'm going to keep it moving on to the next item on the agenda, and then after we will take some of your questions and interact with the chat for a bit, and then keep it moving after that as well.
Sure.
Let's get right into this, guys. It's going to be interesting. Let's see what's happening here because, as you know, there has been reports that Ajax are eyeing a loan deal for Christian Eriksen. Manchester United are also looking for a permanent option for the midfielder. Could this loan materialize with an obligation to buy at the end of the season? Let's see what Ajax is saying. Let's get into this article really quickly. Manchester United are far from happy with 2 incomings and want more, but due to their meager budget, player sales will be necessary to fund the next spot of arrivals. The club are looking at overhauling their midfield with big name stars like Casemiro and Scott McTominay both being linked with an exit. But according to Team Talk, another experienced campaigner in Christian Eriksen could be moved on with Ajax, eyeing a loan move for the Dane. The former Tottenham Hotspur star struggled to adapt to Erik Ten Hag's shift to a high transition system, with the midfielder having lost a yard of pace. Eriksen, open to leaving, the manager realized that he replaced him with Kobe Mainu, who went on to enjoy a breakthrough campaign for both club and country. The Denmark international only started 14 games last season compared to 37 in his first campaign at Old Trafford, and has made his dissatisfaction known to the Dutchman and reportedly told his
Yeah.
inner circle that he wanted to leave in search of more regular game time. United are unlikely to sanction a direct loan for Eriksen currently, but the deal is ending in 2025. They do not want to risk losing the player on a free. The 32-year-old has arrived as a free agent, and any fee recouped from a permanent exit would be a bonus. United plan to sell him this summer or latest by January, after which the player would be free to agree pre-contract with a club of his liking. The Dutch Giants, who finished a whopping 35 points behind eventual champions PSV Eindhoven, are struggling financially and hence planned a loan attempt. Ajax eyeing a loan deal, the European Giants are eyeing the loan move, and Christian Eriksen, but the Premier League Giants have different plans for the midfielder. Team Talk reveals that sources at United says we are looking to offload Eriksen and his former team Ajax, where he made a name for himself as a rising star in the game between 2010 and 2013, are interested in bringing him back to the Eredivisie. The troubled Dutch Giants have struggled financially of late and were keen on the deal, which would be a loan. They'd want to try to sign him on a free next summer when his contract expires. But United may not want to try that, and they may try to sell him this summer or at least in January, like I reported before. His current market value stands at 8 million euros, and Ineos should look to recoup close to um, that amount for the player. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Let's get into the comments and see what you are saying, because it's going to be interesting to see what we're doing when this comes in. Big up to Mick coming right back in. Let me pull up some of these thoughts that you guys are saying right now. Let's hear what Mick has to say about that deal. Man United Planet is coming in saying, I always said without Ed Woodward, we would have thrived again. We had 9 managers in 9 years from 2013 to 2022. That was not the instructions from Sir Alex Ferguson, whom Ed Woodward would have fired. You're mute.
Yeah, sorry, I had my robot going like automatic, so I had to run off and switch him off. Like I made too much noise. Guys, Ericsson, without being critical, fantastic. We got him on the free, by the way, so it's not a big cost. I think he's got 1 year left on his contract, and to have a loan, I said it this morning. I think it doesn't really make sense to loan him out, right? Doesn't really make sense. So if you're going to loan him out, then you're going to lose the value next year. So otherwise, you got to give him a contract extension. For me, it would be a straight sell. Like, take some money. We got him for free. We didn't pay anything, so it's not even a loss, to be honest, right? It's just eliminate that 250K a week wage bill. So yeah, and for me, that has to happen, right? Because we need to free up space for the midfield option if we're sort of going for a Fofana, which is pretty much Ericsson's replacement. What's your thoughts?
I think definitely we're going to try to get him moved on. If a deal does materialize with Ajax, there are reports that Jose Mourinho at Fenerbahce is
Yeah,
also interested in
yeah,
his services. Galatasaray are also looking at him as well, I've heard. And there might be a shock club that might come from, maybe Germany or Saudi and say, hey, we wouldn't mind taking him on, because I've been hearing some reports. There's been some interesting talks coming in, and I know that, we are open for the player to be moved on. He's open for a move as well. So let's see if it materializes in the next 10 days.
yeah. No, seriously. I mean, as we said yesterday's show, like, we are entering in a period, and most clubs are like, we bought 2 players in, Mark, and now we need to get ship out 2 more in order to go in the third phase to buy 2 more players. 100%. Ellie and Tenno, big up morning to you, sir. How y'all doing? Got some more interesting news. A fellow that I know well from the Swedish Allsvenskan football team. We're talking about Andreas Georgsson. It's basically, if I may add this to the stage, Mark, basically it's coming out here to say that Georgsson is
Oh,
required to be join Manchester United staff. Talks are concrete. United only have to pay the clause in his contract. Jason Wilcox brought him into Southampton at the time. This is according to Etienne Waugh. Now, who is this gentleman? He was the coach of Malmö FF, Swedish Malmö. He is now the coach of Lillestrøm in Norway, and this is the coach that I know. He's going to be added onto the coaching staff. So this is another addition, what they're looking at, and of course, this is a Jason Wilcox recommendation, Mark. So this is coming out also as part of this morning news.
yes. And Abdullah Irwan, big up to him, because he was also keen on picking up on that article, just like you have, Mick. And, I haven't really picked up on it. I had read the news about it, but I haven't, brought it into the show just yet. I was thinking about adding it at the end. And it's what I was thinking when I heard that information and I heard some of the reports on him. I did a short little quick thing on online about him, and I'm like, this guy's pretty good. He's a pretty good set piece coach.
Yeah,
At,
set
at,
piece
at his
coach. Yeah,
tenure at Malmo, they were one of the best teams in
yeah,
the
100
Champions
percent.
League when it came to set pieces. They were very, very
Mm,
dangerous. And
yeah,
when I look at that, I look at some of the players that he developed that left Malmo. I'm like, yo, this guy is good. This guy is a good
yeah,
option. We are definitely creating something here. And, it's set for the future, guys. This season, we will all have our expectations. And I know we all want to at least get top four. Some of us want to win the Europa League. Some of us want the FA Cup defended as well. Good morning to Compo Smurf. Good morning to
smash
you
that
as well,
like button.
Sanjay Ramuta. Big up to you guys coming in. Smash the likes. Don't forget, it helps the channel grow. Every time you smash a like, the channel gets shared to another subscriber, potential football fan, potential United fan, and
Yeah,
potential new family member in the VAR room and the team of comments. So let's go.
let's
And
go.
it's for me, it's interesting what United are doing. We're doing it on all fronts. This is unprecedented for me. I know a lot of you guys are thinking we're moving slow, but when you see the multi-layered approach that we're taking to
Yeah,
fixing the problems at United, and we're working at it all through at one time,
yeah,
guys, you have to give these guys a little bit of a hand
yeah,
up
yeah. No, hundred
and say, you
percent.
know
I
what,
mean,
good job.
yeah, good job. I mean, we were skeptical with this 27% takeover. We always said the proof would be in the pudding, and now we're kind of eating the pudding. So, yeah, interesting. We got two signings out into the doors. That's good, right? We are working on multiple deals to get players out, and one of the players that I see is doing a lot of PR rounds is Jadon Sancho, 100%. Jada Sancho, right?
Mm.
And Ugarte, of course, is going to happen because they are now, PSG needs to sell as well. So for me, Jadon Sancho might be a sort of straight swap deal. If you're going to talk about swap deals. Now, of course, there's PR coming out even from Chris Wheeler, if I may add this to the stage, Mark. I'm just going to zoom in on this one, this article that was, or this tweet that just came out 54 minutes ago. Jadon Sancho has fitted in like a glove back into Manchester United, like he's never been away. Sources describe a bubbly character with good sense of humor who can be positive influence on those around him. Everyone wants to keep it that way, according to Chris Wheeler, Mark. Man, this is PR. This is spin for the gallery, right? We know he's up for sale. We know we are creating a bidding war. We know that's been numerous Italian clubs. We know that Dortmund don't really fancy him. They want to sort of get in a cheeky bid. United's playing the cards here, right? We know PSG in for him. We want to get maximum money. And now we're seeing stories like this, like to say, yo, he's fitting in like a glove. He's happy. He's bubbly around. This is basically PR. He's no longer toxic, what they say. Could you see a scenario, though, Mark? Could you see a scenario if we don't get the 40 million that we're asking for? I see us using this as a bargaining chip towards PSG for Ugarte, basically. Could you see a scenario that actually United actually keeping him, or do you think this is the big out?
Well, I see two possibilities, right? And I'm only gonna say it from this perspective. I know you guys always see me smiling, and I'm always the glass half full, optimistic type. Well, it's a kind of thing in my country, and Jadon Sancho has a bit of the heritage. That's why I like the guy so much. He's like the second or third, well, really the third, right? But a lot of you guys wouldn't know about Nkosi Blackman, because he didn't actually make it to the first team. He got in a critical accident,
Hmm.
and but he was signed directly face to face after the 2007 under 21 under 17 World Cup by Sir Alex Ferguson live in Trinidad and Tobago. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho, he would always have that bubbly personality, but it's a little imbalance. If he doesn't balance it, he's going to be like drifting from one extreme to the other. And last season, he wasn't in his best form. And yes, he has made mistakes, and mistakes that I think that might have been a little bit too much to welcome him back into the team. But I
Hmm.
was also saying last season that, another player deserved a second chance, like Anthony. You know what I mean? A lot of fans might be
Yeah.
disappointed in him.
Yeah.
So if I'm keeping the energy, I'm going to say if this guy has come back in, he's put his head down, he's apologized, he's knocked on the manager's door and apologized, and the manager says, well, you're being the bigger man. let's work another season and see how it goes. I would say this: if we don't get 40 million this summer, there's always the January window. And who's to say if he really is putting his head down, we will see the effects of this on the pitch, and that's
Mm.
what's important. If he comes in, puts the working on the field, I can't knock him. I could only say, you know what? Good job, brother. Good
Yeah,
job.
no, listen, you can't unsee what you've seen. You can't unhear what you hear. And I think majority of the United fans are pretty much pissed off because, he disrespected the coach. You can never win against the manager. Nobody can ever win against the gaffer. And then he disrespected the badge by going and kissing the Dortmund's badge and saying, I'm home. That's kind of things. Doesn't really help. So now if United's trying to sell him, right? You need to fix that toxic relationship because otherwise if it still remain toxic you won't get that you want hardly get 25 million for him, right? So I think at the end of the day he's still on the sell list and United are listening for the best offer. I think that at the end of the day the big out according to my thumbnail will be Jason Sancho, Jada Sancho. I think he
Yeah.
will go. I think he will go.
It's a high possibility in my honest opinion, but like Brendan
Mm.
is saying, no matter what is your wages, no matter what is your price, you need to justify them with your performance on the pitch. And I 100% will keep this energy. This has always been my thoughts, especially when you've seen a Manchester United team with the likes of Paul Scholes and
Yeah,
Dwight York and Andy
yeah,
Cole, Beckham. These guys were tireless beasts. These guys were dripping with sweat. You know what I mean? They
mm,
worked hard, and
yeah.
I miss that. I miss that, to be fair, Mick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no, true, true. I mean, we are shaping a new squad, so that's what we see. Like in the players that we are actually linked to, not sexy signings, but we are sort of used as fans, like shirt sellers. They're
Big up
more
Enzo.
system players. They're more system players that they will function in a role within the domain. Now, Aaron Wan Bissaka is another one that we've been talking about, and I had a chat with my boss, Dale O'Donnell from Strategy News, and he said, I don't really fancy what's been linked, and I don't believe in these stories regarding Marcus Alonso, this chap, what's this called, this chap from the Slovenian guy,
Hanko.
um, Hanko, Hanko, and who else did we have there? Serge
Denzel
Reguilon.
Dumfries.
Yeah, and we know that Fabrizio Romano was kind of in the beginning of the window saying that we are looking for an important centre back for not more than 25 million, right? I've seen even reports that Malacia might be part of the US tour to train, so we don't know. And also want to bring this in. I don't rate Frimpong, to be honest. And that's what Dale O'Donnell also say. I don't rate him. I don't rate him. He's so suspect backwards, like, in terms of defending. So for me, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense. Good going forward, but that's about it. Like, you watched him in the Euros, suspect as hell. Like, he
Hmm.
wasn't impressing me at all. And on the age of 28, this is something that I don't think we should do. But on the other hand, if he's going to be the number two to Dego Dalo, okay, perhaps. But in that case, I think that Wan-Bissaka is better than Dumfries, to be honest. I've been thinking about it. But however, news coming out also that Jeremy Frimpong has been offered to Manchester United. Now, some people say, well, he's the same. No good defensively, but good going forward as well. And that is so important to discuss because you got to look at the structure. If we're playing like Leny Yoro, good recovering pace, you got to have solid centre backs in order for the fullbacks to bomb forward. And that's the thing. Now, regarding what you're saying there, regarding Anthony Dos Santos, you swayed my mind yesterday because Anthony can actually play wing back as well.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. So, what do you think?
I
What's you
think
thinking?
I would be honest. I think he played mostly on the right wing during the tournament in the Euros, just like one of my friends is saying right here, Compo Smurf. I totally agree with this. I do like him, however, for his ability going forward. I think he's decent enough. He reminds me of Anthony in the way he plays. To be fair, I think
Yeah,
he's a little bit more attacking than Anthony.
he's more,
He
yeah.
has more confidence in the way he plays. Of course. So I'm gonna give him the pip. He's on top for sure. But I think Anthony, who we already have, can provide that similar type of energy on the left side, even as a backup on the right side. You know what I mean? Because he always plays on the right side, so he knows what to do and he provides a good coverage. So I'm saying maybe we might have to convert him to a left wing back for now until he finds that confidence or gains back the support of the fan base. You know what I mean? I think all players need to be given a chance, and sometimes some players need more game time to get their confidence in. Some players could come in a game and just bang like that, but some they need more games.
Yeah. No, it makes sense for me. I mean, if we're gonna play that, Anthony might have an important role to play that wing back as well. Defensively, Anthony's fucking good, to be honest. The way he tracks back, he's a dog, right? We haven't seen the best of Anthony, so the judge and jury's still out. Like, he hadn't really had his breakthrough. I don't know. Maybe under this new system, under this new coaching, maybe he will have an important role. And by the way, and also what I want to mention, if I can talk about Licha for a second here as well. 100%, I will miss Aaron Wan Bissaka, right? Last season wasn't his good season, but who had a good season last season anyway? It was pretty much
Exactly.
dire performance from everyone. Listen, comes out from Centre Devils. I picked this up yesterday, if I may share so as well. Basically says that new Manchester United insider claims that Erik ten Hag will use Lisandro Martinez in 2 shocking new positions. Full details. Wow. So, Mark, what do you say about this story? What do you think? Lisandro Martinez, 2 shocking new positions. What could it be? I instantly thinking, wow, he can play left back. He can play CDM as well.
CDM.
Yeah. This is what we've been talking about all along, right? In the middle.
100%. But I do think it's going to be interesting to see where he's deployed. I think this position depends on the formation. And when I say the formation, guys,
Formation, yeah.
this is what I've been saying. When we look at some of the players that we've brought in, look at Xerxes, look at the way he plays. He's not an out and out 9. If we are playing with Xerxes, we're going to play a false 9 formation, which is a different way. Meaning, we might be able to have a different profile of players in the midfield. So that gives us the opportunity to have a different profile of defenders in the back as well. You never know. We might play a back 3 with 5 in midfield and 2 up front. And that might be the situation. It might be 2 wingers in front. Xerxes might be the false 9. You know what I mean? So, guys, it's going to be interesting. I think we need to be giving a little bit of consideration to what the manager has in store, and it might be very creative because we've seen a bit of it last season.
I think he's cooking up something really special this season. Different formations, different plans, different plan of attacks, different plan of defense. And if this excites me, right? This story excites me. He will use Lisandro Martinez 2 shocking new positions next season. That means different formations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's exactly what you're saying, like 3 in the back, 5 in the middle, right? Overflood that midfield. That's what we need, right?
I mean, Brendan could tell us about some of the ways his formations was tweaked in the last 2 seasons and in Ajax, because Brendan knows a lot about Ten Hag. I don't even have to say it myself because I think it's going to be interesting. I've seen him do slightly different things with his formation. He's not always, rudimentary 4-3-3, and it gets really interesting. But he's also one of these managers that needs to trust the players that he has. And this has been 100%. The problem last season. There was quite a few players in the squad that he didn't trust.
Yeah.
So therefore, he wasn't really one of those managers going to take out too many risks, especially with the fact that United, as a general whole, was not performing as well last season.
Yeah.
Big up to Stephanie Gifford coming in.
Good morning, Steph.
Before anything else, Mick, I wanted to just bring up this little information about this centre-back option. We know that George Mendes, who we have been working with, who is the super agent, guys. He's been doing deals for us already this summer. He was Leny Yoro's agent. He is also the agent of João Felix and Antonio Silva, guys. And Antonio Silva, it's interesting, guys, because you know that there was 100 million release clause, but he had a bad performance in the Euros, and that pretty much dropped his market value. And what is happening right now is there seems to be something going on that George Mendes wants to take him away from Benfica. So you know when the super agent does these kind of things, kind of like Mino Lariola used to do these things, the club used to usually acquiesces to the agent because of his power, the amount of players that he has under his wings. So I think this is something Man United might be looking at, and it kind of also gives me the interesting vibe when Mick brings that story to light about Lissandro, that this is a huge possibility. Also, because
Yeah.
if you look at the position that he plays and what he can do, he can play in a back three. So can Euro. You know what I mean? So can
Yeah.
Matthijs de Ligt. And you know what I mean? Brendan is coming in, confirming it. He agrees with the 3-5-2, but our biggest
Yeah.
weakness is the lack of leadership communication. And
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
really need that for a 3-5-2. So when you look at some of the players that we are bringing in, it's really interesting.
Yeah, even Alien Tenor is saying he's been screaming. I remember Peter was screaming last season, play
He
3-5.
was right. Big up to
Hey,
Tenno.
interesting formation 3-5-2. That means that you can play uh, RH9. He's got number 9 shirt, right? Rasmus Højlund and
Mhm.
Xerxes as 2 strikers and 5 in the middle. I love that formation. So big up to you, Alien Tenor. I like that. That's why I did a doorbell, and I'll give you applause. So
Story is coming in. He said they're cooking, and what he served last season tasted shit. Although the
yeah,
dessert was amazing. And I know
yeah,
he's talking about the FA Cup there. Morning to you, Welsh girl. Big up to you, Irfan Kedali, Benfica player. It's too much money. 100%. We agree. We
yeah. Too
100%
much
agree with
money.
this. But
Too
this
much
is
money.
why I was mentioning the key point of this situation, which is George Mendes. George Mendes is going to make this deal happen. And when I say make it happen, he's going to make Benfica sell him to us
Yeah,
for some kind of minimal fee initially with some huge sell-on clause, and we're going to pay installments. But that is also if Manchester United agrees to move forward with the deal. So it's not something that's set in stone,
yeah,
guys, but it's
yeah,
something that we're looking at as an opportunity arises. And you know
yeah,
what, Ten Hag has said about opportunities, but also what would be Omar Barada's and Dan Ashworth's relative thinking about situations like this,
yeah.
guys.
Now, 100%. I mean, it's what you said, Mark. George Mendes has kind of been sort of employed by United to sort of make these deals possible. Like George Mendes wasn't the main agent for Euro. He's not the main agent for this one either. He's the intermediate, I mean, between the clubs. He's the spin doctor, you may say so, the deal maker that makes this happen. So I don't know. Initial for Antonio Silva was 100 million. This is Benfica we're talking about. This is Benfica that letting go the star player for 120 asking price for João Neves to go for PSG for 70 million plus Renato Sanchez deal as well. So, man, yeah, we will see. We will see. So far, a lot of talks. Can Mendes pull it through? We probably have to sort of negotiate with PSG. We knew that our target was João Neves. We knew that, but we have to give it away to PSG to get our Ugarte in or XYZ. So negotiations, negotiations. This is the transfer window. This happens, right? There's so many
100%.
many moving components interlinked to each other. Deals are interlinked to each other. How the domino effect will go at the end of the day. So yeah, guys, just want to mention. Thank you all this morning. Stretch your arms, legs. There's 213 watching at the moment on all platforms. If we can get up to 100 likes today, this morning, they've been fantastic. And if you're watching in retrospect, also get it in. Right now, we're on 20 likes, to be
Smash
honest.
those likes, people. Guys, big up to Man United Planet coming back in. He says, we had 9 managers in 9 years, and under Edward Wood, I'm absolutely thrilled. Ineos are giving Ten Hag time. I've read many fan videos calling for him to be sacked. Should should be calling them out next season.
Yep, we have a new
Oh,
assistant here. He
big
also
up, big
thinks,
up. But big up to the new assistant. How are you doing this morning?
yep,
Big up, big up.
he's a
Guys, I
big
want
Man
to bring
United
this.
fan.
I know some of you are asking about Trevor Chalobah, but I have something that might be more interesting. And, a lot of you may not know him, while some of you might have known him. And his name is Archie Brown, right, guys? And this young man coming in here is a former signing of Ineos. They signed him for their club that is over in the Swedish league, I believe,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Luzon. Luzon or something like that. One of you guys were mentioning it earlier in the chat about Archie Brown. And Archie Brown is an interesting player, guys. He did pretty well. And I'm gonna get into the story really quickly because I don't know a huge deal about him. But let's get into it. India's Chiefs are poised to take a page out of Eric Ten Hag's playbook by signing a player they are well accustomed to. And the one we're talking about is a familiar face to them on the left back short cliffs. And HITC claims Ghent defender Archie Brown has now been shortlisted by United as they mull over a potential move. The 22-year-old was signed by Ineos in 2021 when he made the switch to Swiss outfit Lausanne, with his tremendous efforts seeing him quickly seal a transfer to the Belgian division. His progress has been monitored in the recent months not only by United, but reports are that Chelsea have also been scouting Brown this summer. We are all aware of Todd Bowley isn't shy when it comes to opening his checkbook. And guys, he's a former Derby County left back, so he played in the championship before. He knows what the rigors are in England. So don't be afraid that he might be coming in and it's an unknown situation, guys,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
we have to believe
So,
that our scouting
so the
department is
headline
top
headline
class.
is there a familiar face, right? So Archie Brown back in town.
Brown, Archie Brown. I like that. I like that. Big up to you guys coming in. Smash a like for every one of you who are joining. Big up to you, Prince3121. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Princey. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Brendan, what you saying? Isn't that too old? Chelsea, he's 22. Man,
You know what
for
he's trying to say? Chelsea's been only looking for kids. They've been
kids.
getting the underage.
I
You know
I
what I'm
don't,
saying?
Mark. I just don't understand what Chelsea's doing. I don't understand what the strategy. Are we playing Youth Cup here, like Gothia Cup in Gothenburg at the moment?
Probably.
I don't
I
know,
see
man.
Brian Moran is coming and saying we can't sell Harry. Just saying on Sky he's staying. Well, I know he's been saying on Sky that
Sky.
he's saying he wants to stay at the club, but just remember, guys, this is a
It's
different
been forced
regime,
out.
and he's probably
Forced
going
out.
to get forced out by the top above. There has been reports that minimal gains. Sir Dave Birdford has been walking around Old Trafford like Count Dracula, and he's
Yeah, yeah,
scaring
yeah, yeah.
everyone. You know
Yes,
what
I
I
did a
mean?
membership video this morning where I spoke about there was an article regarding that the minimal gains or marginal gains Dale Spread's work is coming to the fruit. So basically, they set a regime when you travel. They're traveling with these compressed bands or something like that to increase the blood circulation because it's a long haul flight. They have special scheduled meals, sleep time, and everything. Everyone that's been flying to LA, it's a 12 hours flight. You know what I mean? So it's all about, if you look at last season, all these injuries, stuff that marginal gains is there. We call them, what do you, Dodgy Dave and the marginal sexuals, you know?
The Dodgy Daves and the quarter sexuals is what we
Yeah,
call
true,
them.
true, true.
Well, at that time we weren't too sure of what they were capable of. We heard a
Yep.
lot of reports. They were actually, not that they are not sporting professionals, but they weren't specifically footballing sporting professionals. Now, when
Mm-hmm.
you mix his expertise with the likes of a Dan Ashworth, a Omar Barada, a Christopher Favell, and a Jason Wilcox, you're getting something that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
very, very interesting. And he's also very much at the forefront of the medical technology side in sports. He's very interested in all of these latest technologies and how to get that little extra
Mm-hmm.
edge. So, it's one of those guys that for me is very interesting in the way he operates and will definitely bring in that efficiency factor back to Manchester United.
Yeah, true, true, true. Um, Speaking about Harry Maguire, I mean, Dale on Stretty did a piece on that. I'm part of the future. That's what he said, right? Um, you know what? At the end of the day, like, they probably told him, you're not part of our future. Harry, you might think you're part of the future, but you're going to be the reserve. You know how much he loves to play for England? Yeah. Are you really, really? I mean, they probably sat down with his agent to say, look, you better look for another club because you're not gonna be playing as a first choice, second choice, third choice. You're gonna be the fourth choice. Why? The question is why. Basically, we're changing the whole system. If we're gonna play 3-5-2, you're not part of that. You're a sweeper, false number five. Thank you for your loyal service. Time to go look for another club. Get 30 million. West Ham, whatever comes in for him, and Scott Mctomminay as well. that's the end of Harry Maguire. Even if him coming out to say that I'm part of the future is pretty much him saying that he's backing himself because he's been given the news that he's not part of the future. Simple as that, right? So it's a little bit,
100%.
but this has been advised by his agent to say, like, come out there to say this part of the future. Anyway, so that's very interesting. Like this all plastered over one football app and what he's saying there. And at the end of the day, still got contract with United, but you know what? He's got the option to stay. They can't force him out. But as a footballer, you want to play for England again, be a regular, you got to play. You got to play.
100%. And Brian,
Southgate's gone.
I know
Southgate's
you're
gone, yeah.
I know you're worried about his contract, right? But you know he has, I think it's one more year left on his contract, so it's pretty much almost paid. At the same time, we know West Ham was heavily interested. You know, there's Leicester City coming back up into the Prem. Are they going to be interested? There's also Ipswich. There's also Southampton. You know, there's going to be some interesting moves to still to happen late in the window. We have still a month again left in the transfer window, guys. There's lots of time. He's probably going to get a move away. I would put it on the 50-50 situation at this moment.
Yeah,
And that's because I know how Ineos are operating in these last few days. Campo Smurf, this is not about football, but big up to you, bro. I know that, and this is very concerning. I was watching the Olympics myself, and I saw that the one of the cycling teams from Australia, they were robbed. All of their stuff was stolen out of their travel vehicle, and to hear that your friend was just robbed at knife point in Paris, yeah,
yeah,
it's a disappointing state of affairs in that city at the moment. A lot of these cities are going through some form of upheaval in some way, and and it's pretty unfortunate, I would say. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I don't know
Jesus.
how to really articulate the feeling that I have on this situation, but I can say as a foreigner in Europe, it's only respectful that you learn the culture of this whichever city that you find yourself staying in, or moving to or migrating to,
Oh,
and you have to respect the laws, respect their culture, you know what I
dude,
mean, and become a
dude,
part of it.
this isn't off the field of football, but seriously, like it's kind of the reason why I moved out from Europe and why I live in Thailand because it's becoming this way, right? In the little city that I live, the violence in Sweden has doubled 200%, right? We constantly get drug dealers bombing, shootings like that. That didn't happen before, right? Everywhere in Europe is like this, and I'm just petrified what's going on. Anyway, off from the footballing matters, like if you may, I might bring up something what everyone is talking about, Ugarte. And yeah, I picked it up last night as well, and we are in for a discounted deal now, basically. It's even widely reported now as an article that United can finally get him on. We did a show yesterday, Mark, and it says, here we go, almost. So basically, if I go in here, it was reported just now, Man United can finally sign the Tyler's £59 million. You know how they wanted 70 million, right? For a
Mm,
discounted view. Even if I scroll down here further, there is something that I picked up on, which is pretty much we can seal him on 40 to 45 million for his services. Mark, this is pretty much what we spoke about yesterday, Mark. This is pretty much them saying, well, we are desperate for cash now because we are going in for too many players. The Mbappe deal, we lost him for free, but it cost us a lot of money at the same time as well, right? So this is now what we spoke about going fishing, right? We have thrown in the bait, we are waiting, it's attrition, and now they're baiting, they're pulling that bait, and we're just pulling in. I think that Ugarte will be a Manchester United player within the next 10 days for 40 to 45 million, according to this report as well.
100%. 100%. And I think that is going to be very interesting, that deal that we're going to do for Ugarte. It seems to me United has made him the priority target for the
Yeah,
midfield, so they were
yeah,
always going to be patient with this deal, and they're going to get their guy on their terms. Most importantly, this is
yeah,
what Ineos has shown me this summer. They want to do deals, but they must do it on their
yeah.
terms. And
But
until they get it
simply,
on their terms, they're not going to trigger it.
I mean, it's simple as that. The player's already handed in his transfer request. That is sayonara. That is the kiss of death in a way. Luis Enrique don't want to play him anyway. He doesn't want to play the style. They brought him in before Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique came in and played a different style. He'd rather play Vitinha in that role, and that's about it, you know. And of course, they want to recuperate the money since they're going to pay 70 million for João Neves. They want. That's why they say to United, pay us 70 million, so it's kind of balancing the books plus even. But their PSR or FFP is also screwed up, by the way. So, yeah, I think that this one will happen very, very soon. You know, he forcing the move. United's been there poking the bear in the ass, saying, "Okay, we'll give you 40, 45 million on installments." So yeah, keep that one on your cards. I do expect a here we go very soon as well.
Big up,
For
big up.
40k,
Sorry,
40,
Mick.
40. Yeah, I
I
can't read
wanted
it.
to say big up to Scotty at the wheel first because he was talking about the marginal gains that we was talking about before. And as you know, I don't know if you saw pictures of the new Old Trafford tunnel, but it looks pretty smooth with those LED
Slim, yeah.
lightings. You know what I mean? They put in some LED screens at the top as well, so it's going to have a little bit of a light situation. And they've been putting some asphalt on top of the ceiling to kind of curb the situation with the
Yeah,
flooding. So that's some marginal gains right there until they get clearance to start the new stadium construction.
yeah.
And big up to 40K car. Sorry about that, my bro. We need to keep chopping the money, grabbing players, Ineos making all the right moves, Liverpool fans crying
Oh, they are
is
crying.
making my
Oh,
entire year. Big up to
yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah,
bro.
yeah. True, true. Regarding Silva, to what Irfan is saying here, basically he thinks he's a 25 million player max. And the thing is, what Elian Teno is saying, and I agree with you saying, we need to break the camel's back of Benfica. But they've been doing this for years. Yeah, they've been getting players for cheap, in the South American grassroots leagues and stuff like that. They're buying in there for 7 million. They bought Alvaro Fernandez for 6, 7 million, and he's going to have a release clause on 80, 70. That's what they do. But this is kind of overpriced. This is what they do. Now, I think this is the end of that because PSG broke the camel's back. They wanted 120 for João Neves. You get him in on 70. So everyone knows that Rui Costa has been a hard negotiator, hard customer, tricky customer. If he says 120, it's 120. But now they're buckling. So we are breaking that straw, including Real Madrid. We broke Real Madrid for, yeah, Leny Yoro, Leny Longlegs. So this is a totally different United. This is a totally different way that we do business and conduct ourselves. Like, we're going in with swagger. And this is what I like.
100%. And as you're talking about swagger, I know lots of people don't think this is going to be possible. But guys, I'm reporting on this because where there's smoke, there's fire. And there's lots of interest in Scotty McTominay at this moment. I know we're talking, this show is going to be as a mixed show. We're going to give you outs, going to give you possible incomings, give you a little bit of the news otherwise. And what's happening right now with Scott McTominay, guys? Fulham is prepared to come in with an increased bid. It's possibly going to be nearer or thereabouts the region that United have expecting to receive and may be open to accepting this offer. Let's see how this deal progresses. I know Scott McTominay has, and as well as Harry Maguire, have both rebuffed West Ham last season, but this time is not the same. And when I say it's not the same, it's because I know that Ineos, when they are ready to get you out, you will know that you have to be moving
Yeah.
out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. And this is what we said yesterday as well, by the way. I think United are creating a bidding war for him, 100%. They will listen to offers for the most important bid. Homegrown talent, you sell him, you get 40 million. That is pure profit on the FFP, man. Seriously, that's going to do wonders for us moving forward next in terms of the midfield area. Fulham came in a little bit cheeky, 100%. They did. We hear Spurs are interesting. We hear West Ham are interesting. So we are creating a little bit of a bidding war. And Ten Hag coming out in public to speak. Well, no, he's part of my plan. This is what he does. He scored 11 goals last season. So yeah, he's very important, right? This is a play for the gallery. This is the same
100.
thing with what's going on with Jadon Sancho and what you're seeing. He's part of the training. This is just basic to increase the value, isn't it?
100%. 100%. And guys, not staying in line with players that possibly could be coming into the club. There's some reports that Man United are still pushing to complete the 100 million double transfer raid. And we already spoke about Ugarte's side of that raid. And I have to speak about the Delit side of the raid because there's some reports coming in that Bayern Munich are set to drop their asking price for Delit as well. and we
Yeah,
might be getting him in for somewhere in the region of 42 million
on
pounds
our terms. On our
on our
terms.
terms. So,
Yeah.
guys, it's going to be interesting. I'll let Mick give you the details, but it's just interesting to see the way Man United is moving. We're making sure to get things done on our terms,
Yeah.
which is most important for me as well.
Yeah. So big up, Mark. So I just created a poll, basically, so you guys have time to vote. Will Scott Mctomminay be sold? That's the question. So far, a lot of you guys living under the rock, the PTSD. I understand 57% of you saying no. So keep that going, keep voting. And yeah, I mean, we said it yesterday. We said it yesterday. It's a war of attrition, basically. It's about going fishing, right? We pull out the bait and we're just waiting and waiting because we know they need to sort of sell. They need to sell because they agreed personal terms with Jonathan Todd, right?
Hmm.
They made. But in order to do that, they need to sell players. So there's Open Meccano and there's Delict, right? Matthias Delict. Now, the closest one, of course, that can get money for is Matthias Delict. He's already agreed personal terms. Rafaela Palmenta is his agent. He's speaking to Ten Hag. He's just waiting. He's on holiday, waiting what's going to happen, right? Until then, he's just sitting there drinking pina colada, zipping with his beautiful missus. You know what I mean? And this deal will be happening very soon, right? This deal will be.
100%.
So,
100%.
even Plettigold, Florian Plettenberg is saying, well, Manchester United have been cheeky to putting 35 plus 5 add-ons. Well, Bayern has been saying we want 50 fixed and add-ons on. Well, United is saying no, you will maximum get 50 with all add-ons on fixed fee. So who's going to win this war? I think United will. So far, we're winning everything what we've been done. This is a model that we are adopting. We're going on our terms, we negotiate on our terms, and oh my God, if this was John Murtough, we wouldn't even had one single signing this season, to be honest, right? So I'm excited. I think that Matthias de Ligt will be coming to United on our terms. I think that we will get Ugarte on our terms as well. We're exploiting their weaknesses in order for them to sell, to buy as well.
100%. And guys, Locker, I know if we sell McTominay for £30 million, it's 35 million. We could probably get Amrabat and another player in. But I'm gonna break your heart a little bit because when Monaco heard that United might be interested in Fofana, his price went from 30 million euros to 47
Yeah,
million euros. So
but who's to know? Who's to know? I keep hearing that United came in and I spoke to Monaco and his representatives, and that kind of turned him away from AC Milan. Was it? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, turn him away from AC Milan because again, United are making that smart business proposal. Yeah, you have 1 year left on the contract. You are worth about 17.9 million pounds. This is what AC Milan was trying to get. Cheap deal. Who wouldn't, right? But United said, "Stop. Wait for us. You give it 25 million pounds, right, and installments." So that's where it's at the moment, and I think he wants to play for United rather than go to AC Milan. So keep your eyes on that one. Fofana, 100% as a number 8, though not number 6.
and what Campos is coming in saying here, good stuff. Let the selling clubs get desperate, not
Not
us.
us. We used to be desperate
100%.
before. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the tables turn. We used to be desperate. We used to do like panic buying, panic selling at the end of the window, and we used to do silly, silly things. Right? We overpaid for Anthony. We overpaid for Licha because John Murtough was sitting there. He's going on holiday. You know, I spoke to Anthony dos Santos' agents, and they took the piss out of John Murtough. To be honest, he said basically, who goes in the middle of a holiday? Who goes on a holiday in the middle of a transfer window and returns back 2 weeks before it closes and begging for a deal? Of course, the price went up. We could have gone in for 45 million. But what did we
100%.
pay? 95. Yeah. So yeah, Kingdom FC, big up. Please, is Dangor on tour? What's going on with Dangor? He had a little bit of an injury, Nigel, or
Yeah, he had an injury on his last loan spell with I believe it's Barton FC or something like that. Can't remember
hmm,
the actual name of the club. It begins with a B. But the most important new information on Dan Gore is he's right now in recovery training at Carrington. He's getting himself back fit and ready. He is going to be kept at United. He will be training with the first team next season. He may not be getting game time in the first half of the season, as you know, he will be coming back from an injury. And probably might, depending on his performances, if he is to get some game time, he might be getting that somewhere in the region closer to December, November, December time. but it's very possible he will be going back on loan in January. Dango has been one of our young prospects that we are keen on developing to give an opportunity in the first team. But because of this injury setback, it's been delayed a little bit, and he has probably dropped down behind the likes of Toby Collier,
Yeah. Yeah.
and possibly even Maxi Oyedele. So it's going to be interesting to see how he comes back from this injury. Do not be afraid. I know what you're thinking. I also really like Dango Jr., and I'm telling you, he is a Paul Scholes-esque type player. I've
Yeah.
seen him, and I
Yeah.
know the club is looking to get him back to his best.
Right.
So have no fear about him.
So, Brewskis, we were talking about players injury. This breaks my heart, though. Really breaks my heart. Taron Malacia, though, we all wonder what's going on. He's missing out the Euros tour due to new rehabilitation. You know, this tells me that this is the reason why we're going out for left back. Is his career over? I mean, the surgeons fucked up. Basically, he had to do another surgery because the first one was a, how do I say? Yeah, as I said, fucked up. Right.
Botched.
He's he's been out for 1 year, and he looks like he's going to be out for the remaining of the season, maybe 6 months more. Like continues rehabilitation. Bro, I feel sorry. I mean, at the end of the day, this was something that we got on cheap, right? But I feel sorry
Mm.
for the player, right? He
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't even want to talk about the articles surrounding him unless it's like, yo, he's in training. Let's see how he does, because you know what? I feel it's like a bit unfair, to be placing all this expectation on the player after we as a club, we didn't, maybe not intentionally, but the medical staff, they botched his surgery, and it's one of those things where we definitely have a duty of care to him to get him back to his best. I would love to see him get back into team and get some opportunity. He has shown some promise in his first season, but we haven't seen him for a year, so it's looking
Yeah,
like a long road back. And the only thing I can say is I hope that he comes back and he gets a chance to
yeah.
earn his place back. If not, maybe we'll have to be moving him on.
But still, like that's why it's so interesting to see. Watch this year's tour. Like we have Murray, young Murray as well. We have Harry Amos that can play that role as well. So we might not even need one. But we cannot simply go in like we did last season without a left back. To be honest, Luke Shaw. Don't know what the hell is going on with Luke Shaw. He had his preseason training, got himself fit in the Euros, but I'm a little bit scared about Luke Shaw. Like his availability 48% last season, right?
100%.
Availability. So we cannot go that way. And that's what we talked about, these cheap deals. Like you can get Alonso free agent, 33 years of age. Just maybe he's still got it in his locker, but maybe that's a stopgap, right? It's a stopgap for a year. You get him for a year. Or Regulon as well. Or some other two players that we've been linked to. One from Crystal Palace and one from, what was it? What was his name? I don't know much about these players anyway. But Ferdi Cadioglio, is he still on the radar? Who knows?
Very much so, to be fair. He's still on the radar. As you know, we did put in a bid of £23 million, but it was rejected. Galatasaray said to have wanted something in the region of £30 million for the player.
Ha!
We are not interested in paying that much. There have been also some reports. This is why you've been hearing stuff about Hanko and possibly the young Archie Brown, as
This
well
is
as
funny.
another young right back in Michael Coyote, as well has been rumored more in the region of £20 million. It's
Oh,
going to
this
be
is
interesting
funny.
to see what we do there. And as Brendan is saying, we're possibly heading into a scramble at the end of the window. Pretty much
Yeah,
every club is playing poker now,
yeah.
waiting for the other to fold. Every deal depends on other
That's what's
deals.
going on, man. That's seriously. That's I applaud that one. That is exactly what's going on at the moment. I'm just laughing. Excuse me for laughing, but when you say Fenerbahce and Galatasaray, they come in and try to buy our elite players for low 7 million, 6 million, 10 million, and then they're coming in. Oh, we give you this one, yeah. Cadioglio. By the way, we would maximum pay 25 million for him, but say we want important money because they think it's the Manchester United of the old. But if you've been sleeping under the rock for the past few months, the Turkish, come on. I think this one might come at the very end, Cadioglio in that case, right? Scrambling. Our first priority is to sort out the fullback situation, the midfield, and then we go on the. Did I say centre backs first? Fullbacks comes after, and midfield. Striker, we're good. Wingers, we don't need. We are good. And that's about it, guys. So a lot of things circulating around. This, we haven't been so busy in the transfer market as we are today, because every day there's some new reports happening. This, it's twisting and turning. But the ones that will come in next, according to my opinion, will be Ugarte within the next couple of 10 days. Because PSG said, we want an answer. We want to tie up the deal with João Neves within the next 7 days. So interesting days ahead. And we can get our bargain price on 40-45, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting, guys, especially when, you look at the options that we have. Michael Coyote, not Coyote. Sorry, he's an African. He's actually an African descent, but he's Italian. He plays in the Italian Serie A. He plays for Fiorentina as their right back. I would class him of a similar ilk to something in the region of I would say more of a Alfonso Davies because he's very, very quick. He's very good going forward, but he's a better defender than Alfonso
Yeah,
Davies, hand down. He's
yeah,
very physical, very strong, and very good. And as Man United Planet is saying, what's the opinion on Habib Oganai? I think he's going to be given a chance as our third string
yeah,
right back
yeah,
this
yeah,
season.
yeah.
He can also play right centre back or left centre back, and he could also provide it going forward on the left as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how it does. I know United wants to have 7 youngsters in and around the first team as options, as well as, they will also provide that homegrown talent, number for us this season. So
Yeah,
you're going to
yeah.
see him. You're going to see the likes of Toby Collier, Ethan Wheatley,
That's
possibly Ethan Williams, and maybe
that.
Murray or
Yeah,
Amas.
yeah, but that's absolutely why I'm looking forward for this US tour, like to see who can step up, who can play a part in this first team squad. This is a sort of their limelight to step up to the stage. Like, Toby Collier looks like Zeus there already. Hariyamas, Murray, what you're saying there. But yeah, 100%. But the thing is, if I kind of spin on the Malacia, I think his career is over basically. So basically, this story here is coming. Manchester United must sign Kodioglu to replace Malacia. That tells me that he's kind of a career ender, his injury, and we're looking at an aging Luke Shaw. This guy can do the bits, right? So definitely United has sort of identify him as a replacement, right? But it comes down to what we do in the outs as well. So Kadioglu for me, it's somebody that I would love to see, right? He's so
Mm.
versatile. Like he can play left back, right back. He can play center back as well. So definitely, if they've been scouting him, Malacia, feel sorry for you, but fuck me, man. Seriously, what a Luke Shaw and all that mess. Nah, out. Get Kadioglu
Yeah.
in. We're gonna sort of. I want us to challenge for everything, all the titles. We've been far too depressed for far too long now. We're assembling an Avenger squad, so that's what I want to see. Get the best placing for each position and system. Mark, that's pretty much what I have on my radar, sir.
Yeah, that's pretty much I have on my radar as well. I just wanted to highlight this one player that might be an interesting thing to look at because I've been hearing a lot of talk in Germany today about this youngster. I know that we have been linked with him. He's also a Monaco player, and it's Van der Sar, guys. He's very good. He
Vanderson,
can play
yeah.
both left back and right back. He provides a good balance of attacking and defense, and he might be willing to come in and play second fiddle to a Diego Dalot or provide coverage on the left back for Luke Shaw and not be giving
Bro,
that.
bro, bro, bro. What was the name of that guy that played for Palmeiras? This Brazilian kid. It's like in
Richard
his.
Rios.
Oh, Richard Rios. We also linked for him as well. God,
Yes.
this kid. You watched him in Copa, right?
Yeah.
Wow,
He's
this
very
is
good.
kind of he's a like for like. He's a typical Kobe Mano. It's like Kobe Mano's twin brother. So if you take Kobe off the bench, you put in Richard Rios, right? This will be exciting if we get Richard Rios off the line. But Vanderson, I don't know much about to be honest. He's also Brazilian, right?
Yeah, he's also Brazilian. He is getting a call up for the Brazil national team. He is very good. I would say he's more like a Mycon. So if anyone has ever seen Mycon, he reminds me of Mycon in some
Mm.
of the some in one or two games that I've watched. he looks that kind of pace, that kind of ability going forward and backward. He could be threatening. He can dribble, very good on the ball. He's not afraid to put in a tackle. He's strong in the air as well, very strong character and energetic presence on the field. I would be definitely looking at this and thinking it's a possibility because his price is somewhere in the region of 20 to 30 million euros. So it's already
Yeah.
within our ball game on what we might be interested in.
Yeah. Just to sort of spin off what I said, if I may bring to the stage regarding Richard Rios, right? Was a couple of days. Where are we? 26th. It was 22nd. Manchester United preparing to offer 70 million pounds for Copa America star Richard Rios. This is exciting. Mark, this is exciting. This is what I was talking about because we are looking for number 8. And you can't just burn Kobe Mainoo to the ground. Like, you can't play all those games. We know Ericsson is leaving, and we are looking for a young squad. Like, he's a like for like to replace and rest Kobe Mainoo. Seen a little bit compilations. I didn't watch him much in the Copa, but what I've seen and the outputs, it is telling me, like, if you compare in Opta Stats, for instance, right, or
Mm-hmm.
RP, you compare him to Kobe Mainoo, equal, fucking equal, scary, like the twin brothers. Man, if we get this one over the line, I'd be excited, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I would definitely be excited to see Richard Rios come to United. He's one of those South Americans. He's gonna provide, that grit, that feisty nature in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see it, to be fair. It's one of those things for me where I'm very much interested in Richard Rios. The only problem is that Palmeiras just made 200 million, Mick. They sold
They don't need,
Hendrick,
yeah,
they
they
sold
don't need to
Estavo
sell.
William, they sold
Yeah,
Luis
they have
Gulliam.
money.
They don't need to sell this guy. And they are referring to this release clause that they hid in his contract for 90 million euros. And that's the biggest
Oh,
problem.
no, 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 no. 70 million for the 24-year-old. But yeah, true. You said they sold a lot of players. Fine, good. They don't need to sell them. They might hold United for extortion, but I think we have a competent team that can negotiate this one, right? So, you know, you wouldn't pay 90 million for somebody that plays in, Palmeiras, like in the Brazilian league. I never seen that happen before. So usually they come on
100%.
cheap, 17, 20, maximum 30. But still, this guy is for the future, I think. This is
He
for the
is.
future.
He is. And
But obviously,
guys, this has been the breath of our show. I would like to thank you all for joining us this morning. You know what I mean? Big up to you, Bill Sambuli, coming in late. I've seen if we sign Coyote, I'm happy.
yeah,
100%. I think he's a very good talent. He's around 21 million. So look out and see what might be done. There's going to be some interesting deals coming in the next 2 weeks for Manchester United. It's hot and being reported in
yeah.
Germany right now. There's lots of news about Manchester United. But guys, I want to take this 2 minutes just to ask you guys a favor. If you have the time, this is my channel link. Go to it, smash a like and subscribe.
Goat.
I'm on the road to 1K. Actually, I'm like 13 away from 500 subs,
Yep,
but Mick
13.
told me I need to be aiming higher. So
Yep,
1K is the marker for the beginning of the season. So I'm asking you guys a favor, smash a like and subscribe. You know what I mean? I will always be here. You can
yep,
always find me on MUFC Realist TV. I'm always going to be streaming here, so there's no issue with that.
yeah.
But I'm going to be covering next season the United women's team and updates on the under 21s and under 18s as
The
well.
fresh.
So if you want to get in on the action and find out and get the news about the young talents coming through to United and our progress with the women's team as well, join me when I'm live, guys, for
Yeah,
the
no,
watch
big
alongs
up.
as well.
Just so you guys know, for confusing, Mark lives on this channel as well, so we're co-streaming on his channel and my channel as well. So yeah, I can lend you some subscribers, Mark, because you've been doing fantastic work as well.
Thank you,
This
Mick. Thank you.
467 this morning, watching for your morning coffee and brew tea, whatever you're drinking. 42 likes, scandalous people. If it's 467 of you, at least what we can give us is 100 likes. If you're watching this as post retrospective, Mark has been slaving, receiving, sourcing all the information. I've been coming, giving you some information. We'll be back later on, potentially. See what happens. There's not much coming out right now, but you never know with Manchester United. Things are moving fast, thick and fast, and that's about it. Thank you, Mark, for having me as part of my channel and as part of your channel. you can finish off the show to say go peace, go banana, whatever you say.
Before you go and before we finish, Stephanie Griffith is coming in. I just wanted to for you to answer a question as well. And this is just my honest opinion on why is it that specialist sixes are so few and far between. Do you think box to box midfielders can compensate for this? I would say that the reason why a specialist six is so few and far between is because of the way we've been developing the academy players at younger ages now. We kind of make them play in a system fashion. We coach them to play in a system style, and we don't actually allow them to develop in the way that they would naturally develop, and then you know refine them at academy level. So that's been the difficult situation. It's why you see less creativity in a lot of players, and some players being
Yeah,
actually misprofiled coming to the ranks. So
but
it's something
also,
that needs to change. Box
yeah, but
midfielders can compensate, but you're going to need one who's actually a little bit more defensive and one who's more attacking, so they can balance each other out. Let's hear what
yeah,
Mick's
but
opinion is
it's
on that.
also very. I mean, if I read this question, there's not many specialized number six around in the world that can do that job fine, especially if you're going to play that kind of destroyer type of role. It's a special position that you got to be specialized. You got to be good defensively. You got to be good at, transporting the ball. The way I see it is number six is not somebody there's a ball progressor. The number six is for me like the typical Carrick role, the typical what you saw with Roy Keane was doing as well. A little bit of fight and grit, to shield the back line, pick up the ball from the back line, and just do simple passes. Like that's what you see Collier. Watch Collier next time. He is that typical number six specialized. So you can see a lot of box to box players, the hybrid eights and six, but this is not what United has identified what we need. If we're going to play a 3-5-2, for instance, then this is a very, very important role. And that's why we said earlier as well that Ten Hag has two special surprise roles for Lisandro Martinez this season. We might see Lisandro Martinez playing that CDM role. Depends on if we don't get Ugarte or Amrabat over the line. But Amrabat, for me, and what I've been hearing, it's going to be another loan. It's pretty much we can get a very cheap loan fee, maybe 2 million, maximum, right? We paid 8 million already. So yeah,
Let's see how
Fiorentina's
it
moved
goes.
on. Yeah, no, it's smart. It's smart basically. So basically coming to next year, you pick them up for nothing, pretty much. Zilch, almost. Yeah. Anyway, push for 50 likes, please. Yeah, 50 degrees. Mark, I'm out of here. I'm going to the gym. I was already dressed up. I have you never see me in a singlet top, but, I got caught with my pants down. It's like, come on, do the stream with me. I was like, okay, I'm going to the gym now. So whatever you're doing, guys, it's Friday, TGIF. Thank you, Mark. Follow Mark's channel, smash the like, helping to reach 1,000. And we should hopefully see you back later on tonight, hopefully. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for being here, Mick. I can't do it without you. Of course, I stole the keys this week, so I was here all week by myself in the mornings. But it's always fun to stream with you. You always have your finger on the pulse. I can't take more
Yeah.
advice.
No. Mark, it's not that song you keep singing all week. All by myself, I don't want to be all by myself. No, today it's Friday. That's why I'm keeping you company tonight. Yesterday we had a fantastic show. 4,000 viewers was constantly looking at us. So you have some sex appeal, Mark.
Oh. Big up, Mick, and big up to all of you in the chat.
Although, I'm going to sweat your balls a little bit more. You keep bailing on that chicken dance, and I keep.
Yeah, we don't do
all
chicken dances in Trinidad, bro. But I will give you something back for that coming up to the season. You know what I mean? I also
You can
have to run because we meant to be 30 minutes. It was supposed to be finished 45 minutes ago. We've
Whoa.
gone
Before
way
you
too
run,
long.
there was a suggestion that we missed. No, wait a minute. Wait. Somebody suggested that you should do Peter Crouch robot dance.
Oh, we can try that one. Maybe sometime. Maybe later on. Later on, when we're back later, we'll do some dancing. Mick will do some singing. Hopefully, you guys will be back for that. The mid-evening show. We will be doing the Huddle-meter later on, guys.
Yeah.
Be here for that. That's right before Botswana Poppy's happy hour, guys. So come in, warm up with us, and then go and enjoy the happy hour, guys. Today's Friday. Be safe out there, guys. Enjoy yourself. Hopefully the weather gets better. For me right now in Germany, it's kind of cloudy and overcast. I don't know about London right now, but big up to all of you watching. Big up to you, Brendan Chappelle. Big up to you, Joe Backman, of course. Thomas Savanas, my guy. Big up, bro. Prince. 3121. Big up to you, Compo Smurf, as well. Big up to you, Scotty, as at the wheel. Andrew Hakim Ab Halim. Big up to you, Labo. Thank you for joining us, my brother. You know how it is. Big up to Hank Astral as well for coming in. Welsh Girl 68. Story. Big up to you, broski. Big up to you, Alien Tenno, for coming in. Big up to you, Locker 45. Big up to you, Man United Planet. And certainly big up to you, Bill Stambouli, Kingdom FC, Stephanie Griffith, of course. Big up to everyone who joined us this morning.
Happy Friday. Listen, I'm going to the gym. I'll be back. Oh, actually, I'm going to do back. So that's why I said jokes aside. I'll be back.
Catch you later, Mick. See you later,
Cheers.
Mark Davies. Bye, Brian Morris. I hope you guys have a great day. Tarun, big up to you. Irfan Kadali, big up to you guys. If I forgot you, I am sorry. But the list of all you legends is getting longer and longer. So what I think we're going to have to do is create a credits. So my outro will feature all of you guys in bold. Thanking all of you for always joining us. Big up to you. Hope you have a great day, guys. Remember, stay safe. Man United has a preseason game on Sunday, so we all want to be here for the watch along. And thank you so much, guys.
For me.
I will catch you later.
7 a.m. in the morning for me on Sunday is going to be the show. Right. Mark, close the shop. It's time to go, guys. We've been waffling too much. Okay, let's go. I'm going to roll out of here. Close the shop now, right?